Which country consumes the most coffee per person? Italy? Colombia? Somewhere else? I'm Mark Ellison, and on 5 daily trivia questions, I deliver fascinating facts and surprising statistics every weekday. Whether you're a history buff, science geek, or pop culture fanatic, there's something for everyone. 5 daily trivia questions, and the biggest coffee drinkers, it's Finland, with the average Finn consuming over 26 pounds of coffee annually. 5 daily trivia questions.
Calaroga Shark Media.
The papal election began with considerable solemnity on Wednesday evening, when the Master of Ceremonies pronounced extra omnes, Latin for everybody out, clearing the Sistine Chapel of all but the cardinal electors. This initial session stretched beyond 3 hours before concluding without a decision. On the second day of the papal conclave, 133 cardinals gathered again in the Sistine Chapel on Thursday, continuing their solemn duty to elect the next leader of the Catholic Church's more than 1.4 billion members worldwide. Black smoke, fumata nera in Italian, billowed from the chapel chimney on Thursday morning, signifying the conclusion of the second round of voting with no consensus reached. This marked the 5th inconclusive ballot since the conclave began. A successful candidate to replace Pope Francis will require a 2/3 majority of the voting cardinals, meaning 89 votes are needed. This is white smoke, the path to a new pope. An estimated 10,000 spectators gathered in St. Peter's Square this morning to witness the black smoke, following yesterday's crowd of approximately 45,000 for the first conclave vote. For a brief moment, there was confusion when the smoke appeared greyish, causing some onlookers to momentarily believe a decision had been made. If history serves as any indication, a decision may come soon. Pope Francis was elected after 5 ballots over 2 days in 2013. Pope Benedict XVI required 4 votes across 2 days in 2005, while Pope John Paul II was chosen after 8 ballots and 3 days in 1978. The pre-conclave period revealed competing visions between those who wished to continue Pope Francis's inclusive approach and others seeking a return to more traditional doctrinal discipline. Cardinals from Myanmar to Malta gathered for preliminary meetings in a Vatican auditorium so crowded that members wore name tags. These sessions focused on high-level discussions about the Church's position in a world marked by religious strife, nationalism, secularism, and growing anti-migrant sentiment. Behind the scenes, cardinals engaged in what one observer described as ecclesiastical speed dating. Meeting in Vatican hallways, cafes and restaurants across Rome to become acquainted with colleagues from distant parts of the global church. The atmosphere grew noticeably tense, with reports of campaigns and strategic positioning around leading candidates. The conclave needed to address profound tensions within the worldwide Catholic community. Progressive elements, particularly in Europe, sought faster reforms than Francis delivered, especially regarding women's roles in the church. Meanwhile, more traditional churches in Africa, where Catholicism was growing most rapidly, had rejected certain Francis initiatives, including his authorization of blessings for same-sex couples. Financial concerns also emerged as a significant issue, with reports of declining donations and pension system deficits leading some cardinals to argue for a pope with strong management and financial skills. Others suggested creating a papal cabinet of senior advisors to help the next pontiff navigate the complex challenges facing the Church. As the question of who will become the next pope echoes across the globe, Italians are racking up points choosing potential contenders for the job in a new online game. The game, called Fantapapa, mimics fantasy football and soccer. However, instead of picking players, users select a team of 11 cardinals they believe have the best chance of becoming the next pope. We wanted to connect with a sensation we usually have during the conclaves, in which basically everyone is talking about who the next pope is going to be, said co-creator Mauro Vanetti, who is based in Italy. The key to the game is to choose the cardinals that can score you the most points. If players correctly guess the cardinal who becomes the next pope as their captain, they earn 1,000 points. If the correct cardinal is placed in any other slot, they receive only 500 points. But users who fail to put the next pope on their team can still score points. Additional points are scored when chosen cardinals are mentioned in major Italian news outlets. There are also opportunities to gain extra points by correctly guessing the new pope's name. Players can also score points guessing whether the new pope will wear glasses during his first appearance in St. Peter's Square. Cardinals Matteo Zuppi and Pietro Parolin are currently top picks among the game's 70,000 plus users.
Feeling overwhelmed, stressed, like life's moving too fast? Take a breath, take 5 minutes, and take stock of all you have to be grateful for. I'm Olivia, and I invite you to join me for 5 Minutes of Gratitude, the podcast that transforms your outlook in the time it takes to drink your morning coffee. Together, we'll explore the power of thankfulness. From life's big blessings to its smallest joys, we'll discover how gratitude can change everything. 5 Minutes of Gratitude, because a thankful heart is a happy heart. Follow 5 Minutes of Gratitude now, wherever you get your podcasts, and let's start our gratitude journey together.
Hey, White Smoke listeners, this is Deacon Mike Hayes. I am the host of Question of Faith, a weekly podcast where we answer one question of faith a week with my partner, Father Damian Ferentz. We have a bunch of guests from the Diocese of Cleveland each and every week, and we'll be talking about all things papal conclave for the next few weeks. But that's not all we talk about. We'll talk about any question that you have about the Catholic faith. So give us a shout on the Question of Faith podcast. That's on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Interest has surged in a centuries-old manuscript known as the Prophecy of the Popes, which allegedly forecasts the arrival of Judgment Day. This 900-year-old document, officially titled Prophetia Sancti Malachiae Archiepiscopi de Summis Pontificibus, claims to outline the sequence of papal succession culminating in the world's end. For those unfamiliar with religious eschatology, Judgment Day represents the prophesied return of Jesus Christ to evaluate humanity's souls. According to the text attributed to Irish Bishop St. Malachy, this momentous event looms just 2 years away in 2027. The manuscript, preserved within Vatican archives and uncovered by Benedictine monk Arnold Wyon in 1590, has garnered renewed attention given the current situation. This cryptic document contains 112 Latin phrases, supposedly predicting each Catholic pope from Celestine II through the present day. One particularly significant passage associated with Pope Sixtus V states, "Axle in the midst of a sign." Scholars point out that Sixtus began his papacy 442 years after the initial pope, positioning him at the midpoint of papal lineage. This arrangement suggests the apocalypse would arrive precisely 442 years later, aligning with 2027. The manuscript's final ominous section declares, "In the final persecution of the Holy Roman Church, there will reign Peter the Roman, who will feed his flock amid many tribulations, after which the seven-hilled city will be destroyed, and the dreadful judge will judge the people." The end. Some interpreters believe seven-hilled city references Rome itself. Biblical scholars further note Scripture explicitly cautions against predicting Christ's return. Matthew 24:36 clearly states, "But of that day and hour no one knows, not even the angels of heaven, nor the Son, but the Father alone." We'll continue to have daily updates for the foreseeable future. Please join us every Sunday for our regularly scheduled episode of White Smoke, The Path to a New Pope, where we explore humanity's most elaborate and secretive transfer of power. White Smoke is a production of Calaroga Shark Media. Executive producers John McDermott and Mark Francis.